Power Week 22's favourite season fan poll got me thinking. It can't just be nostalgia alone that drives MMPR. There's something else here that makes it memorable. Then it hit me. The original opening themes for MMPR are amongst the most accomplished visual storytelling in the show's entire history. For a TV show that was intended to be aired and watched in almost any order, with no need to have seen the previous episodes, the opening 60 seconds worked hard to ensure that you understood who the heroes were, what they'd been doing, and even how the episode itself would be structured. The opening for the very first episode starts with a summation of the events we're just about to see.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to conquer!
In just one sentence, we meet the villains and learn their objectives. Sledge came back 3 times and I still don't know what he wants.
Alpha, lead us escape. Recruit a team of teenagers with attitude.
We meet Zordon and Alpha, who again with one sentence explain everything we need to know about their relationship. The big head is in charge, and the robot does what he says. Let's not think too much about that, okay? All the key information you need to know is shown in just 20 seconds. The teens teleport from the juice bar to the command centre to get morphers that transform them, and we learn what this new team is called. Establishing shots of the Ranger team demonstrate their athletic and combat skills side by side with their superhero forms. This was an outlandish concept, but by doing this in just 30 seconds, they've already started to ensure that you believe that it's really these people inside those helmets. This is a cool technique. I mean, I still don't even believe that's Andrew Gray in there. As the show's first minute begins to end, we start to see the Rangers' Zords. Carefully shown to us separately, we start to see them join together. The Zords are the Rangers' most powerful weapons, only used when the circumstance escalates. Normally appearing in the third act of the show to lead us into the finale, it's only appropriate they cap off the opening too. In just 60 seconds, even if you've never seen this show before, you've been caught up on the entire premise. Except for Tommy and a few other inserts, this opening remains mostly unchanged until the second season. By the time the second season debuted, there'd been a real shake-up to some of our key players in the show. The Green Ranger had been and gone and came back again. Rita was replaced by Zed, and the Rangers' fleet of Zords had been changed. All of these stories were told over the span of many episodes, but again, the show used its opening theme to tell you everything that you needed to know. Gone are the opening mission statements from Rita and Zordon, now replaced with a montage of the heroes enduring damage and destruction whilst defending the Earth. We see the Rangers pose in the quarry footage from the end of Green with Evil Part 5. Notable as it was the first time that they'd come close to being defeated by Rita and the Green Ranger. But now, after everything they've been through, and with the Green Ranger on their side, they reaffirm their vow and commitment to stand up against evil. This footage would of course go on to be used as the standard stock sequence used to summon Thunderzords, the Rangers' first real upgrade and a symbol that they're equipped to meet the challenges that this new villain is here to throw at them. Again, only 20 seconds in and already we are being shown that the heroes are accomplished, reminded that they have experience of both defeat and victory, and despite everything they've been through, they're still standing and that they're going to stay that way. As the opening comes to its climax, we see our mysterious new villain and the kind of destruction he's looking to cause. Just like before, we're shown that the Rangers have their Zords, and if the battle is escalated, they'll call them in to finish it. Season 2 saw more story and cast changes than the first season, and this was reflected in the storytelling of the opening theme. With Zed now fully established, the opening is no longer shy about showing him, and the effect he has on his lackeys. We see Billy discovering Zordon's secret chamber and the new White Ranger descending into the command centre, revealing himself as Tommy. We are introduced to his Zord and new battle companion Saba, all whilst Zed looks on menacingly. We're shown that whilst this new Ranger may look a little different from the others, his Zord can combine with theirs, suggesting that he's very much part of the team. With Season 2's cast change came an updated opening, carefully including the new trio. They arrive in the command centre together, transformed into Rangers together, and shown to be fully incorporated into the team. But it's the third season where the visual storytelling of the opening themes peak. Immediately we see a jubilant Zed and Rita, a giant Rito, and powerless Rangers blinded by an explosion. This is a show where the good guys always win, but they're telling us that this year we might have that wrong. Straight back to the command centre, we see Alpha teleporting the Rangers to an eerie desert. A map in Billy's hand suggests they're searching for something. But they don't have time to waste. It's clear they're being hunted. The Rangers enter a gated temple with a strange figure inside, who gathers them in a circle, and we see them being transformed into new Ninja Rangers, driving their shark cycles, apart from the Pink Ranger, and glimpse their new Ninja Zords. 20 seconds and we've witnessed a story of Rangers being defeated, searching for help and gaining new power, all without a single word being said. You hear that, guys? Guys, you can shut up sometimes. Guys! Just like before, the theme builds to its end with shots of the Ninja Zords assembling to form Megazord and finally Ultrazord. This shows that if you were in any doubt that these new Ninja Rangers were inferior to what came before, then you need to think again. Whilst both of the previous seasons had multi-part episodes, they rarely had lasting effects on the overall story that was told. Season 3 was a little bit different, with multi-parters commonly being used to introduce new status quo altering elements, and this was reflected in the updated opening credits. Our first update focuses on Catherine. Included with the villains, we see her first as she transforms from a cat into a human, meeting Tommy and kidnapping him in her car before finally seeing her break free from Rita's spell. In under 10 seconds, you've been caught up on everything you need to know about Kat, and notice for the second time how there's no pink shark cycle. Kat's teleported to the command centre where Kim places her coin into Kat's palm, passing her power. As the other Rangers look on unsure, Kim and Kat appear to be happy and certain, and finally the Pink Ranger is shown riding her shark cycle. It's an all new Pink Ranger, and just like before, this new Ranger is ready for the challenge. There's no contrived peace conference,
You guys are going to Switzerland.
or hastily overdubbed stock footage.
He's so happy, he's speechless.
They didn't erase all evidence of Kimberly, they proudly put the story on display. Alien Rangers opening shows what happened next. Zed and Rita spy on Earth, and we witness the Rangers transform into children, journey through a storm and find refuge in the command centre. We see the kids contact strange aliens on the viewing globe before seeing these new friends teleport to Earth, morphing into Rangers equipped with power coins just like our Rangers. Despite not being present in the episodes, the regular cast is credited properly, with each credit being transformed into the credit of their child actor. Just like Season 1, this is a deliberate technique to tell you that whilst these people may look different, they're supposed to be the same characters you know and love. Later we see young Billy using a gadget to transform back into his teen body, explaining why he's different from the rest of the team. In under 40 seconds, they've covered the key plot points of multiple episodes. Contrast this to the openings that followed. Zeo does not attempt to tell any story with its opening, mostly featuring their abstract shapes, cast cards and generic action shots. Turbo egregiously follows this trend, consisting almost entirely of nothing but cast title cards, even going so far as to abandon the effort to show which Ranger each character is. In Space refreshed its openings regularly, but they rarely reflected any real changes that may have occurred in its story beyond new Zords. That being said, it could be argued that the intercut action scenes are supposed to suggest to the viewer that the Rangers are actively searching for Zordon in space, which was the core mission of the team. Lost Galaxies didn't attempt to tell a story either, but it did do something new. The cast title cards now show the characters in archetypical scenarios. The mechanic character is repairing a motorcycle, the scientist is at a microscope, and the jungle primitive swings on a vine. This continued into Lightspeed Rescue. Again, no story is told, but the characters are reduced down to their most basic traits. The swimmer rides a whale, the medic wears a stethoscope, and their climber climbs a rock. Just like before, everything else is just generic action shots. And for a show that had a lot going on in it, it really doesn't want you to know about it. Let's look at Time Force. It wouldn't be wrong to say that this at least makes the smallest effort to explain its premise, however briefly, by showing the Time Force team travelling back in time, before just showing all of the same out of context and meaningless action shots. Every single other opening is an extension of this. Generic random action shots. Honourable mentions go to Ninja Storm and Mystic Force, which incorporate a tiny bit of visual storytelling at the beginning of their openings, but soon lapse back into the same lazy style. And now, in the age of streaming and binge watching, these opening themes are becoming a relic of the past. They were once a storefront, but now they are an obstacle you're prompted to skip. But with how lacklustre they've been for so long, is it really any wonder